today. Hope you enjoyed the snow. One thing I like about the snow here is it comes and it goes. So we're blessed to have that type of weather here in Fort Payne. We're also blessed to have Ministerial Association come and actually say invocations. Today we have Ian Conley from New Oregon. So he'll come at this time and lead us in the invocation, followed by Miss Brothers will lead us in the pledge.
I'm thankful today to come and, as Walter said, a representative of the ministers here. Very thankful for our community and very thankful for the work of our mayor and our city council. So I wanted to say that before we begin this afternoon. Let's bow our heads. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you this day, acknowledging your presence and your grace in all that we do. Lord, you have tasked us with so many things, to care for the least of these, to look out for the lost, and to be the kind of people that you have called us to be. And so, Lord, as this council meets today, and as decisions are made, and discussions had, and things voted on, we ask for your grace and your blessing to be upon this work, knowing, Lord, that none of these things escape your presence and escape your will. Help us, Lord, to trust in you with all that we are and all that we have. Help us give thanks and take pride in our community, knowing that so much goes in to make it what it is, and especially the blessings that we share together. Lord, all these things come together so that every person, every citizen can be blessed and be made better off because of the work we do together. Help us remember that this day, and may your blessing be upon our council, upon our mayor, and upon all the cities of this wonderful community. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to lift you up and to make you part of this meeting. Bless us now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Flag, attention, salute, flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, John Smith has started something. He came up with the suit and tie on, so I think we're kind of moving toward that direction now. So
I think for what we're getting paid, we can afford it.
I think John tallied up what we were being paid with all the meetings that we've had. How much was it, John?
39 cents an hour.
About 39 cents an hour. So
I didn't get that memo.
didn't get it no. But I'd like to thank the council for all the meetings that we've had so far. We've had a lot of meetings in the first month. So hopefully we can continue to do that because we're getting some things resolved. So it's always good to have a team that's just ready to meet when we need to meet. So that's good. Also, I'm glad the police department is here today. They were here last week. I didn't really know why they was here. I just thought they came to hang out with us. But we want to let you guys know that we're on board with you. So if you hear any rumors out there about anything, just come to the council meetings or ask one of us. We'll be sure to let you know and reassure that we stand behind you guys. So I say that from this whole team up here, but if anyone likes to add to that while we got them here, I definitely.
We just appreciate what our police department does for Fort Payne and keeps us all safe. So we appreciate what you guys do.
And everybody had a meeting, a time to look at the minutes of the November 17th meeting. So I entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Motion by Johnny, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Committee reports. Any reports from the committees? Johnny, you got anything? You want to talk a little about that project that's going on tomorrow with the paving? You want to talk about that project that we're going to look at in the morning?
Oh, yes. We're going to meet with a company that's going to show us something that's new, that's out, that will be a help on our roads, their potholes. A lot of times when it's been paved 2 or 3 times, one place will come up, and then you have a little thin pothole. They got a new product out. Tim's been looking at, and I think it'd be a real good thing for us if it won't. Have a meeting in the morning, look at it.
That's gonna be at Alabama and 14th Street. Okay. 9:30. John, anything going in fire?
We're gonna bring Ron into the work session tomorrow. We got some equipment needs that we need to discuss again, some CARES Act money that we're looking at. And other than that, nothing new. And we've met with Patrick, I think, since last meeting, and basically just talked to him about his equipment needs. And folks, I tell you, we're in a jam here. He's got trucks that you can't drive them up the mountain. You can't use it on Thursday because it won't do this, and this won't do that. And he's short-handed over there. We're at a point where we're gonna have to do some soul searching about getting some of these equipment needs taken care of. You know, it's to the point now where they're not gonna be a nicety, they're gonna be a necessity. So we're working on that, and we'll get back with you on that a little later on.
Bill, what's going on, Rick?
We got our budget meeting, and that's about all I know about the rec.
At least we had our budget meeting the other day with Ronnie, and got a lot of things to consider. Got a lot of projects that we'd like to see happen, but we got to get this budget squared away to see exactly what we can do with it. So we had a good meeting. Hopefully we can get everything that we want. We're going to try to push for that. Lane's not here, so we'll just move right on.
Airport board meetings a week from Friday. I think that'll be the last committee meeting, I think.
I think so.
Administrative, and we got some things that we're moving around there, so we're on point to have that completed. I think he's made some cuts in that too, so everybody had to cut this time to try to get where we will break even, so I think it's going pretty good, but we still got a lot of work to do. I want to commend Councilman Philip Smith, for working on a spreadsheet for us to help us simplify some things for us to understand. He's spent a lot of time on that spreadsheet, so we're looking forward to his presentation on that. So thanks, Philip, for taking that on yourself to put that together. All right, was there any other reports? Mayor, do you have anything you want to add to those committee reports?
No.
I have 3 on the agenda then would be the ordinance and resolutions. The 11th ordinance in 2020 amended ordinance 10, which established the council's procedures to change the time of the meetings from 1 to 12:30. Philip and I we're kind of working between our schedules, so it's kind of better if we moved it to 12:30. So this is the first reading, but I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Yes, I'm making a motion.
Motion by Johnny, suspend the rules. Second by John. Roll call. Philip?
Yes.
Yes. John?
Yes.
Okay, motion to suspend the rules. Motion to adopt the amendment.
So moved.
Motion by Johnny,
Second.
second by Philip. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4 is the ordinance, the 12th ordinance, repealing ordinance 2003, which established polling locations for municipal elections. After talking to these guys, I know their intent was to try to help us with COVID and have the best situations possible. They did what they thought was best to do. I give them kudos for that, but Mayor, I know you were sitting in this seat when that happened, so I'd like to just kind of turn over you and let you explain kind of what's happening.
Yes, that decision had to be made in May of this year to change those polling places. We only had until the 25th of May to get that put out. We had no idea what things was going to look like as far as COVID. That was a decision that we made, not to be a permanent decision, but as you and I have talked about moving that back to the places that it should, or they originally were. So that was our intent, was to move those polling places back to the original place, so that in our municipal elections in 4 years, they'll be back where they normally vote.
Donnie, you were on that team too, you got something you want to add to that?
Yes, it worked out pretty good, but there's a lot of people I feel like didn't go vote because, we had the two places and, a lot of the elderly didn't want to get out. I think this will make everybody happy, putting it back like it was. I had a lot of complaints about it, so.
I will say that the team that put the election together, they did an awesome job. Didn't hear any complaints about, the line said everything went smooth. I don't know who all was in on putting that together, but I know Andy and Don and Ronnie all pitched in, and that was a flawless election.
John, you got anything you want to add to that?
Move back to where they were. I know it increased our absentee voting, but still, I'm with Johnny, I think a lot of the elderly didn't.
Right.
I've had people say that they just didn't go vote because they just didn't get there. So I think it's.
Bill, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'll move we adopt the ordinance.
Let's suspend the rules first. So,
I move we suspend the rules.
motion by Philip, suspend the rules, second by John, all in favor?
You gotta take a roll call on suspend.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, motion to suspend the rules. Now a motion to, adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Philip, second by Johnny, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks a lot, guys. Item 5 is Resolution 2020-48, which authorizes the termination of the lease for the FOP. Who's, okay, Rocky's going to.
We had talked about that. We've got a lease, and there have some differences arisen, and we've been talking about this and going back and forth for a year or so, or maybe more. And so we've resolved those issues. The lease will be canceled on the 28th day of February at 11:59 p.m. In other words, on March 1st, it won't be in effect anymore. And that the city after that shall be entitled to use the firing range and shooting facility on the same terms and conditions and scheduling process as any other town and municipality. That's the resolution. I've sent an actual agreement over here that needs to be signed. Once we adopt this resolution, need to be signed, and you had sent me an email. You can then contact Jim Chambers and have him come by and sign it. Retain the original and keep it in our files. Give him a copy and send me a copy, please, sir.
Okay, we'll do.
Assuming this gets approved.
Discussion around this before we.
The only discussion that's come up about it is will our officers have access? And I think the answer is going to be yes. And, keep in the back of your mind, if there is a problem, we'll get laid down in the Department of Public Health and get the regulations on the lead issue. And if we have to, we build our own. So I think it's a win-win. I don't see any problems either way.
Yeah. I'd like to see us. I don't know what challenges we may face with county, but there may be some issues that probably we need to work together with them on. Hopefully we can do that going forward. I know we do have this, and this is where it is, but I'd like to see us, if there's any way possible, Mayor, that we can kind of reach out, Ronnie, and we can kind of figure out if there's something that we can agree on, because I think right now we're kind of at odds, and we need to do a little better at that, I think.
Right.
So I think this team can do that. I think John's over there, so we got someone over there that can help us understand what we need to do. So let's try to build a better relationship with that team, because if anything happens to us here, we're going to need all hands on deck. And I really want those guys to feel a part. I don't want our officers to feel like we're doing anything to restrict them from the job that they have to do also. So like John said, if it don't work out, we'll look at plan B. So
moved.
motion by Philip, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
carry it over there.
No, that's good.
Item 6 is new business. Valley Joyce has requested the council approval for extension to their job creation commitment date until December 31st, 2020 due to the adverse effect of COVID-19. The state has agreed to this extension.
That's supposed to be 2022. That's a typo. December 31st, 2022.
22.
Yeah, we entered into an agreement with them. We really didn't do a lot. Turned out that the Industrial Development Board is the one that owned the property and donated the not donated the property, but provided the property for them to build their new plant there. They've spent well over $8.5 million already in investments, created a lot of jobs in building the plant. They have not been able to expand as fast as they had agreed to. We've already done everything we're supposed to do, and I think they're concerned that we're going to try to ask for some things back, but I don't think that's anybody's faults. They saw it and created or got approval from the state of Alabama to this extension, and all we're doing is just saying that we'll ratify what the state of Alabama has already done for the purposes of our agreement. It's really just one of those, usually you have somewhere along after you enter into one of these MOUs, you have some things that weren't anticipated and changed. So, but it does not reduce the amount of jobs they have to create. It simply extends the time for them to do that.
Motion by John,
Second.
second by Johnny, to extend this job creations commitment date. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is a street light request. Carolyn Hartline at 503 Margaret Thatcher Lane.
So moved.
Motion by Johnny, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we did get the nod from Ronnie. Item 8 is appropriations. Steve Sparks for Payne High School basketball program of $2,500 to the Wills Valley Shootout Tournament. This is something that we normally do, isn't it?
Yes, this is, we do that yearly. The school doesn't really make any money off of it. The real benefit is having 20 high school basketball teams. Probably at least half of those will wind up staying in Fort Payne because they're from too far off to drive back and forth. And you'll see basketball players and parents and coaches eating at all the restaurants, and so it's an economic benefit to the city of Fort Payne, and we've always done that.
So moved.
Motion by Johnny, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Let me just mention that basically all this does is it pays the expenses for referees for the tournament.
Carries. Item 9 is discussion about acceptance of the bid for the Soto State Park project.
Several months ago, we were approached by the county and to us to do some upgrading on signage and road work from, I believe, Tim, from the top of the mountain, top of Highway 35 all the way through the park. Is that correct? Yeah. Our part of the agreement was we were responsible for inside the perimeter of the park. And at the time that they approached us, they estimated the cost of about $230-something thousand. Our match was 10%, or $23,000 and change. When the bid actually came in, it came in at $265, and they're saying our portion is now $53. And my question to Sam Phillips and Aldott was, if our portion was 10%, why is it not $26,000? Well, the way the state figures it, when they offer a city a project like this, the city is responsible for any overage in its entirety over and above what the estimated bid, so it was another $30,000. So we either accept it or we don't. And we've already paid $10,000 for the engineering. I spoke with Sam Phillips, the project engineer, this morning, and the downside to rejecting this bid would be, I'm not saying we would get blackballed, but if the state puts a project together and then we say, never mind, it may not look favorable upon us.
Well, you may
Bear
not
in
be,
mind, we've already got $10,000 sunk in it, so.
I don't know whether you call it blackballed or not, but we won't get another one.
Ever?
Well, not in my lifetime, but that may not be but a year or two, who knows?
Well, they're not exactly stepping up to the plate with the overpass either.
It'll be a while, I mean, it won't be forever, but, it will be, it will hurt the relationship working with ALDOT and the state if we don't do it. What's the difference, 30,000?
30,000 is the difference.
Already got 10 in it.
We've already paid out 10 for the engineering, we were responsible for engineering those engineering.
So what's the project again? Just paving, Tim, is that all it is?
It's replacing all the signage, that will start at Highway 35, go to the T intersection. The county is responsible for their portion, which goes to the entrance to the park. So our portion will be replacing all the street signage from there to the end, and paving the area around the rock where it's always slick, and then building 2 chicanes to slow traffic down in and out of the park.
Widening the road.
When do we have to,
Widening the road.
when do we have to decide?
Yeah,
Right now? Why?
Well, it'll actually
because
just
the deadline for me to notify them is,
Mara, isn't it?
or, yeah.
Is this in-kind service or is just
no.
just straight money? So if we don't do this, we're gonna lose 10,000 investment.
I don't particularly like it, but I'm gonna make a motion to go ahead and do it. I think we need to.
Motion by Johnny to continue this project. Second.
If we don't do this, we're out $10,000, we won't get anything else from the state.
No, certainly don't say that,
It's gonna be harder.
You just don't ever know really what kind of impact it'll have. I mean, that's a fairly large project. I mean, you got a $250,000 project that they're willing to put 210,000 to him. And,
plus they're also doing from the top of Highway 35 to the park entrance.
Based on the estimate they got, if we were to go buy the signs and put them up ourselves, it's gonna cost us about $100,000 to $110,000, so.
it'll just, it's a good project for the park and for tourism.
I second it.
I got a reluctant second over here, but it's a second. I understand where he's coming from. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Whoever wrote that grant up was a genius in Montgomery.
Because I asked the question.
And win for them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Explain that to me, because I don't understand when,
Well, they didn't make it clear. I mean, they said basically, we think this is an X number of dollar project, and you're gonna pay 10%. Well, that was based on their projection of the project, which is, and it's not just the state, it's any construction project runs over. If they'd have said, we're gonna spend this much and everything over that's gonna be yours, then we'd understood to begin with.
Is that the way they all are?
No, most of them, when they tell you 10%, it's 10%. When they tell you your match, I can't ever remember one like that before. Can you?
according to Sam, most of the projects with ALDOT are like that. Because I suppose, everything's blamed on COVID, but as y'all all know, building materials have just gone to the moon and back. Lights project was initially, I believe it was pre-COVID when they approached us about that, or maybe right in the beginning phases of it. So that estimate was probably fairly accurate at that time, but it's just like when we opened bids the other day for Michael's upgrades at the plant. The equipment portion came in reasonably on target. The building, the actual building was twice of what it was estimated at. So, you know, it's a dart throw in this day and age about trying to estimate stuff.
$30,000 lesson we just learned.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we paused on that because we do have a lot of work to do, but like you said, we have to, that's a lesson learned. All right, moving right along. Item 10 is a subdivision acceptance. Chris and Lana Bowman, Hickson Road Northwest, wishes to subdivide 8.98 acres from the original 51.41 acres for the development of an apartment complex for senior living. The Planning Commission has approved the subdivision. I mean, this is where we're committed to widening the road on Hickson Road, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this carries over to the next meeting.
No, this is just an FYI, but y'all need to make a motion and accept it.
So moved.
Motion by Philip,
Second.
second by John. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, time for the mayor's report.
All right, I don't have a big report today. Did meet with John Cooper with AlDOT on Wednesday of last week and discussed some, actually the overpass and the Joe's Truck Stop issue. He and Curtis are going to work on an alternate to that route because I think that project came in at about $38 million to do the whole project. I think they're going to work on some alternate routes. Still working with Steve and Nathaniel to get us a date that we can sit down and talk to them and come up with possibly a solution to at least get one, if not both issues taken care of quickly. So, and also would like to commend Tim and his crew on getting our Christmas lights up. I think I've had a lot of compliments on the lights downtown and throughout. Good job, as always. And like to remind everybody of our Christmas in the Park on December the 11th and Christmas Parade. Christmas in the Park is from 4 to 6. We do ask that you social distance, wear your mask, take all precautions. If you are not feeling well, if you have symptoms, we ask that you stay at home. Steve Black is going to be streaming the parade from downtown. I think also Southern Torch is going to be live streaming the parade. So there'll be plenty of options for you to watch the parade, and if you've got symptoms. So I felt like that so much has been taken throughout this year through the pandemic and everything, and I really wanted us to have the Christmas parade this year, but I do want us to be safe and to use common sense in doing that. So I just encourage everybody to promote social distancing, wear your mask, and have a good holiday season. So I don't have anything else.
Here. I'd like to thank FPTV for being here with us today. It's always good to see our young people here helping us put this thing out, and want to encourage the council also. We really worked hard during the week to understand this stuff, so there's no way we can actually just come up and look at this agenda and try to make decisions. So there's a lot of work done that we have to do to actually understand this before time. So we'll continue to try to have a discussion because we know, but maybe you guys don't know. So as we deliberate, guys, please remember that they're watching us, but they may not know everything we know, and we definitely want the general public to know that we want to be transparent. We have nothing to hide. If there's any question, you can come to us and ask us. So thanks a lot, everybody, for coming. Tim?
If you don't mind, I'd like to address council on updating one of these projects.
Sure.
Turn lane for the, school, new school, the cost estimate from the contractor is $766,000. So the equipment y'all purchased, and we talked about buying some more for more projects. With all the equipment, we've done this project, for $88,650, and that's the portion left for the paving we haven't finished yet, but when the project's complete, we'll have $88,000. I know that's not a exact replica because our money comes from elsewhere as far as our payment and all, but that's how much savings, with us doing the work. If we tried this project 5 or 6 years ago, it'd probably been a 3-month project with equipment we've had, but since y'all bought more equipment, we've done it in 13 days, and that's including the 2 days it's gonna take to pay it. But I'll let y'all have a copy of all that. Take a copy of it, look at it. Thanks a lot for everything, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else have anything they want to contribute to the meeting today? Anything you want to say?
Well, just update us on the police chief applications or cutoff is today,
It's today at 4 o'clock.
Day at 4 o'clock.
and then meeting, interviews of the 10th.
Interviews is the 7th, isn't it? Is it 7th?
I think that the police committee will probably meet first, right?
Police committee will meet first, the chiefs, and then we will pick it up on the 10th. Yeah. So, we did have a good meeting yesterday. We interviewed 28 people, for the DC Gas Board. We're gonna put that off for a couple of weeks, until Lynn returns back. So, everybody that, applied, we appreciate you applying, and you should know something within the next 2 weeks, how that shakes out. There is a work session tomorrow. They don't get enough. They just want to keep coming. So work session tomorrow at 12:30. We'll be right here again. So we here. We'll be here tomorrow, 12:30 for work session. Anybody that'd like to attend, feel free to come out, hang out with us. And I like this better than that plastic stuff, don't you?
I do too.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.